Hello everybody. Today we're doing a simple video of doing a sand texture. This is an actual silica sand that we put in the mud, and then when it dries, it gives it kind of like a stucco cement finish, sand finish. It's not a very common texture, but it is done on certain houses, especially patios like this. They like to add this sand to give it a kind of texture cement finish look. We usually use silica sands. If you try to use like a playground sand, sometimes playground sands are kind of dirty. So if you use anything besides a silica sand, you're going to have to strain it out, wash it out, get all the dirt and debris out of it. Sometimes playground sand has little rocks and stuff like that. So we use this refined silica sand. It's really smooth. Of course, if you wanted a rougher texture, you would use a heavier, gritty type sand, or you would just add more sand. I've tried different type of textures with this sand technique. The best way is with the skip trowel. If you try to do it smooth, you're gonna pull scratches. You could probably spray it on like a splatter, but with the skip trowel, it's just done with this style, and it's just a kind of like a Southwest stucco look that they're trying to achieve here. Pretty simple. You just mix what you need. Since I'm doing a smaller area here, I'm just going to mix in my pan. If you're doing a larger area, you'd probably want to mix up like a quarter or a half a bucket of mud. You're just going to use an all-purpose joint compound. So what you would do is first get that joint compound thinned down to your texture consistency. Most consistencies of textures are like a heavy pancake batter. You got to mix it up good. You can't have clumps and goobers in your mud. If you do, you're going to have to strain all your mud before. Once the mud's all mixed up, then you can add the sand. If you're doing a larger project, you just probably want to mix what you're going to use in the whole project in a bucket. That way you just put the sand ratio in one time because you don't want to run out of mud and then you have to mix more. You just want to keep the sand ratio the same. That way, if you continue on the project, the texture doesn't change because you didn't put enough sand or less sand than what you originally did before. But pretty easy. I'm just going to mix a pan here. I got a big 18-inch pan, so I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to pour some sand in. I'm going to take a look at it. It's still kind of heavy. The original stuff here is pretty heavy, so I'm going to add a little more sand. So you kind of have to gauge it. There's no really wrong way, right way, what ratio. It's just job to job, and you're going to have to mix it to your preference, however you want it. The joint compound is going to dry overnight, and it's going to kind of shrink back, exposing more of the gritty sand finish. If you're not comfortable doing this and you're not sure the ratio, maybe you can try on a piece of scrap sheetrock and just mix your ratio. A good rule of thumb we used to do is just like a handful per pan, couple handfuls. A little goes a long way. And also, when you do the skip trowel with the sand in it, sometimes it makes a skip trowel go on a lot easier. We mostly do on patios. I've seen a few houses where they did it inside the house, but it's mostly in these patios in certain houses out here, certain home developments, where I guess the builder decided to add sand in it to give it that stucco cement look. But yeah, it's pretty easy. Adding sand, basic silica sand, few dollars. Big bags, probably like $10. But you can do some creative stuff with just by adding sand to your mud. Like I said, don't use dirty sand, playground sand. You ain't gonna just go scoop up some out of the playground. If you do, you're gonna have to strain it and get all the dirt and debris out of it. Just use clean sand. If you don't use clean sand, you're gonna get contamination in your mud. You're gonna pull scratches. It's gonna turn into a big mess. So that's why I use a nice silica sand that's nice and uniform, nice and fine, and you just have to add more sand. But yeah, pretty easy, simple video. I'm also going to have the full length video of this whole patio repairs that we did, fixing all the seams. I just wanted to do a short video here on doing the Silica Sand Skip Trowel. Very easy. I also have a playlist of textures. I have other videos like this with the Silica Sand. I have other videos of just doing skip trowels. So there's a skip trowel without sand, and then there's a skip trowel with sand. So just because it's skip trowel doesn't mean there's sand in it. It's just a something they add on just to give it that gritty cement finish when it dries and they paint it up. It looks almost like a cement stucco finish. But yeah, plenty of videos like this on the channel. Just simple watch and learn video. Just doing a Silka sand skip trowel. Hey, thanks for viewing.